Hey everyone, this is Mark Bates. I'm your metabolic health coach and owner of Refiner's Fire Artisan Roasted Coffees. And we're going to start something new here. We're going to talk about some coffee news. It may not be daily. This is coming from this article is coming from the Daily Coffee News. But I just want to throw out there several times a week just some basic coffee news because coffee is one of those things that I just absolutely love coffee. I love good coffee and it's very healthy for you. And so we're going to throw out all kinds of articles about what makes the coffee healthy for you. Now, this one's an interesting article, and this was only a few days ago. In the wake of India's green revolution, scientists find organic soils healthier. Now, I could have told them this, right? Years back, I was deep into what's called regenerative farming. And when I was living in Maine, I actually turned my home into a homestead, turned every available piece of ground into a regenerative farm. And that took 4 to 5 years to get that into a regenerative farm and get it certified for that. And that was a lot of work, laying out composts, putting out organics into the soil, making sure that there was adequate life in the soil in terms of fungals and insects and stuff in there. And I had the healthiest soil in my neighborhood. People were amazed at how many vegetables and fruits and stuff that my gardens were producing. Since I moved to South Carolina, I haven't gotten that into it yet again because I've got other things to do. But the idea is that I know this, and you know that if you do that regenerative or biodynamic type of farming, the plants are just 100% healthier. And that's what they're talking about here. Regenerative and biodynamic, right? And especially in the mainstream coffee lexicon. So one of the things that's important to me when I when I roast beans for my customers, my clients, is I pick farms as much as I can who try to do organic and or regenerative or quality farming. Now, sometimes I just can't know, right? But you can taste it a lot of times. So I pick from very small farms that have the owners tell you their story and what they're trying to do. And as much as possible, what we try to do is buy beans that we can roast for you that have the highest flavor profiles available at a reasonable cost. There is a price to be paid for all this regenerative farming. So for example, I can sell you a 6-ounce bag of roasted beans, right? Roasted coffee beans for, let's say, between 12 and 13, maybe $14 a bag, depending upon how much the beans cost me to buy and ship in and all that. And those are what I would call the reasonably priced beans, okay? I could go crazy. I have beans being sourced to me right now that would bring the price per bag up from the $12, $13 range into the $25, $26, $27 range. And that's not me making a lot more money on it, okay? That's just the cost of the beans. My pricing on the beans is kind of like what a gas station does. I don't know if you understand how gas stations work, but they get the gas in at a price from their distributor, right? So unless they are attached direct to like Mobile or 76 or something, they're getting it from a distributor. Then they have usually city, county, and state taxes that are added to it. There are federal taxes. There are all kinds of other fees that they get attached to the price per gallon of gas. And then there's a small markup for the gas station owner, and then your price. So, for example, yesterday I bought gas and it was $2.25 a gallon. Okay, and I got a small discount because I had a loyalty program with that gas station. But the idea was it's $2.25 a gallon. Of that $2.25 a gallon, probably only about 8 cents went to the gas station per gallon, right? The rest of it was taken up in terms of the actual cost of the gas, having it delivered, all the state, local, federal taxes, the excise taxes, and all that. So gas is not a real profit-making enterprise unless you're selling a whole bunch of it. Okay, so the way I price my beans to you, we'll be as transparent as we can on this. I'm not going to give you the exact numbers, okay? But I have the cost of the beans. Then I attach on top of that the cost of the roasting and the transporting and putting it into packaging, right? And printing the bags up properly and all that for you, okay? And then we deliver it to you, right? And on top of that, I just add a small amount for profit. It's a reasonable amount for what we're doing because we're custom roasting these coffee beans for you. So when I sell you a bag for $12, $13 a bag, I'm not getting rich. If I sell enough of them, we'll make a good living, but we're not getting rich selling you coffee. But we're giving you a good, healthy product. And that's very important to me. I want to be able to make a living. I want to have a business we're building for our family that my children will ultimately be able to take over, and they can deliver the coffee to you. So I'll teach them exactly how to do that. And they're starting to appreciate the difference between the coffee I'm roasting and the coffee that we used to buy at the store. They can taste the difference, right? And I can guarantee you that they're going to notice the health benefits relatively soon as well. That's better there. Everyone will. But getting something that's fresh, good tasting, and is extremely healthy for you, it's worth a few extra pennies in my opinion. And so I try to fairly price my coffee beans to you, but I want you to also, enjoy them at a reasonable price. So if you have questions about that, ask me, but I'm pretty upfront about this. I'm not making a ton of money per bag. I am making enough to make this worth my time and my effort and my investment, but I want to give you a good product. And so this idea of the green revolution, yes, I really do believe in this. And I think this is important. And that's why I choose the farms I'm buying my beans from. So that as much as possible, I know I buy from farmers or co-ops that are practicing healthy growing techniques. All right. So that's just my promise to you on that, is that we're trying to find you good quality beans, single source from a single farm, so I know that they're good and you can taste it in the coffee. All right. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and think about subscribing and liking this video. Share it with a friend who may enjoy coffee as much as you do, and let them know about it. If you want questions about healthy living, I'm still a metabolic health coach. Go ahead and ask me questions. That's what started me on this, was coffee is good for you and it tastes good and it's a product everyone seems to enjoy. And if that's a jumpstart in getting a healthy lifestyle, all the better. All right, everyone. Have a great day. Be good.